everybody, it's Haley Am here, just driving, so figured I'd make this video kind of quickly and while I could not use my hands, but I wanted to talk to you guys today about relationships and why they fail and what makes them successful. And a lot of the relationships that I've been in, I have found that when two people say that they love each other and then things change, they tend to call each other out on, oh, you know, they don't love you, oh, you know, they were lying the entire time, when in all reality, they probably did love you, they probably just don't like the person that you've became, because contrary to popular belief, people do change, and things happen in people's lives that they aren't expecting to happen. Like, if you had told me 5 years ago I would be where I was, I would think you were crazy. Not working, having a successful job, you know, I would have been in a totally different place. But coming from somebody who doesn't really, if you're somebody who's very goal-driven and you're dating somebody who's not, that could be a very toxic relationship, and that seems to be like what I just got out of. I know in my last video I had mentioned that my relationship was kind of going south with my ex, and since then we have broken up and things got downright dirty. He called me names, you know, called me a liar, called me a few other explicit names, and it really made me sit back and think about what made my most successful relationship work. Now I was in a relationship for like 3.5 years off and on with someone who I am currently in contact with. He is still my interest, though we have not seen each other in about 2 years. Just about 2 years. But we still both have feelings for each other, and what made that relationship different was we worked. We were both very goal-driven, but we were in different places in our life. I had just gotten into college, and he was trying to figure out what kind of career path he was going into, to where, you know, with me just starting to work and not having my priorities straight, or my life straight for that matter, which I can't say I still don't have my life straight in any sense of the word, but I just feel more confident in myself, and I feel like a better person now that I've grown up a little bit, and I think that I can handle a more mature relationship, because he is older than me. He's not, you know, my age, so it makes it a little more difficult when you have two people who are in different areas in their life trying to get together, to where me and my ex that I just broke up with, I've had my license and have worked since I was 18 years old. The car that I'm driving currently is my car. I've owned 2 cars, this one and the one before. I've had my job for almost 5 years. I couldn't imagine life without it. To where he didn't have a job until the last month and a half we were dating, and we dated for almost 2 years. He didn't have a job, he didn't have his license, he didn't have a car, and he was 23 years old. So those our two personalities of him just wanting to hang out with his friends, and that was his priority, was gaming, his friends, your typical 23-year-old guy, that, you know, stereotypical, whatever you want to call it. And that's just not me. That's not something that I can put up with. That's not something I want to deal with. That's not something that I am drawn to. And it became a larger and larger issue till finally we just could not be together anymore. And it's sad, it really is, that we worked together for almost 2 years, and we did work in some aspects. Like, we really cared about each other, we were physically attracted to each other, but if there's not that draw for the future, you know, when somebody says, oh, I could see myself marrying you, okay, well, can you seriously see yourself waking up to them every morning, you know, them going to work, and them being dedicated to having a life with you? When that answer is no, you should know that things are not going to work. That's your first sign that you need to get out of that relationship, that something is not right. Now, had I seen that in him, had I seen the work ethics that I wanted to see, had I seen the kind of person maybe he'll be in 10 years or 5 years, or, you know, maybe he is where I was at 18 years old and he's just not there yet. You know, maybe had I met him at that point, things would have been better, or if, you know, maybe he had just wanted to work harder at getting things done and doing things for the relationship, I would have been more obliged to stay with him. But because he wasn't, I had to break things off. And I told him, you know, I'm trying to do this politely, and I'm trying to do this with both of our interests in mind, but I have to be happy, and I have to know that my future, and, you know, the fact that I want to get married one day, and I want to have kids, and I want to, you know, start a family, and have a house, and be able to have a place that I can call home that isn't my parents' house, you know. And it didn't seem like he wanted that. He didn't seem like he was striving for that. And it's heartbreaking. Ooh, rough retro. And it is heartbreaking when you end a relationship. Even if you're angry at the end of the relationship, that doesn't make it better. It doesn't help it. It just worsens things. And it makes you not want to talk to that person at all. We had a mutual, you know, reason why we didn't want to be together, couldn't be together, then, okay, it might have been more understanding. But when I told him that I wanted to take a break and I couldn't deal with the relationship the way it was, he started calling names, slamming doors, throwing a tantrum like a 2-year-old, and it really bugged me. And I realized at that point, you know, maybe the relationship isn't as steady as I thought it was at one time, and maybe things will be different, you know, down the road. But like I was saying, I'm currently talking to my ex that I had dated for a very long time, and we're working things out. But he's going to be visiting his parents over 4th of July, and we're going to hang out during that time. And, you know, the spark's still there. That, you know, that feeling you get in your stomach when you see somebody that you really care about. You get that, like, warm, fuzzy feeling, and you start, you know, oh, I can't wait to see him, you know. That feeling is there, and that, you know, like, cute little nicknames, and, you know, talking to each other all day, even when we're at work, you know. I never had that. I had to tell my ex to text me, and it bugged me so very much. And it's like, okay, if somebody who's not dating me is willing to do all these things for me and fill all my needs that I need, why am I with him? Why am I not with my ex? My other ex. My interest, if you will. And I'm like, and as soon as I started questioning that, it became the thought of, okay, would somebody outside of the conversation think that this would be considered cheating? And when I could answer that honestly, yes, then I decided that I didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. I was like, you know what, I don't want to give anybody the inkling that I'm cheating. I am not a cheater by any means, but my heart is not in this relationship anymore. It's with someone else. And that is when I knew to break it off. But I just wanted to let you guys know what my views about relationships and what kind of things to look for in a relationship. I'm going to get off here and actually start driving. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.